What is going on, everybody? I am Jason Garrett, aka Nathan, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Benchwarmers podcast. I'm here with Mac is greater than Brady, aka Zach, and Jake Locker's Game Socks, aka Larry. And today we're going to be talking about this NFL Top 100 list. We're going to be talking about who we thought was maybe a little low, maybe a little too high, and also our predictions for the placements of the top 10, which has not been released yet. I just wanted to say before we get started that I think football, it's very hard to place the positions of who's the best because every player is doing something different. Each position is doing something a little different. Compare football to basketball. You have 5 players on the court, and even though there's different positions, they all have different focuses, but they're all doing the same thing. They're all dribbling, trying to get open, passing, taking shots, rebounding, setting screens. Whereas with football, you have the quarterback who's throwing the ball. You have the linemen who are defending him. You have the wide receivers. And it just goes on. You have different people doing different things. And I think when you're trying to determine those top few positions, what it really comes down to is what position do you value the most?
Yeah, and then you also think about the top 100 is player voted, so it's not entirely, a lot of it is the main 3 positions, wide receiver, running back, or quarterback, and that's basically all you have in the top 10, excluding Aaron Donald and TJ Watt, which are defensive tackles and outside linebackers. But, yeah, there's a lot of rankings that are very questionable. And I'll start it off with James Robinson being at the bottom of the entire list is absurd to me. He was the only reason Jacksonville was even relevant last season and is at 100 when you have other players higher than him, which is ridiculous. And go on, Larry. Sorry.
Yeah, I also think like Corey Davis, very underappreciated. With probably the best receiver in his class with A.J. Brown, him almost getting 1,000 yards anyways, Corey Davis almost getting 1,000 yards, with Derrick Henry in that offense too, I think he was very underappreciated being put at 91.
Yeah, another receiver that's around him was Cole Beasley at 96. Although he is at 96, I feel like him being above James Robinson was a little out of character. And speaking of A.J. Brown, both him and Calvin Ridley were under Julio. And Julio probably played 5 games last year.
He did, only 5.
And they're both, Julio was at 29, A.J. Brown was at 62. I don't remember what Calvin Ridley was at, but
I feel like Julio is definitely too high considering how little he played.
My opinion, I don't think he should have been on the list, period.
Calvin Ridley was 65.
Yeah, like, it's ridiculous.
What? How? Calvin Ridley definitely outplayed Julio this season.
Don't get me wrong. Julio is a great player, but he's falling into the same category as Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Donald.
He's loved by the people.
It's a name player. They see their name, regardless of stats, they think they're the top of the class. Yep. And that's exactly what happened to Julio in this case. Another player is Trey White and Marshawn Lattimore. Trey White was 95. Marshawn Lattimore, another name player, 86. I don't know how you rank Marshawn Lattimore, who really hasn't done anything since his first or second season. And then Trey White is just a consistent, good cornerback.
Yeah.
I would have swapped their ratings if it were me.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And Tristan Wirfs being put at 89, he might have been a rookie, or was it his second year?
It is his rookie year.
It was his rookie. Yeah, I haven't seen another rookie O-lineman besides like Quentin Nelson come into the league and do as good as he did.
Yeah.
And win a Super Bowl his rookie year.
I mean, he's no Sony Michel. I'm kidding. Kidding.
Nah, Wirfs is a hoss.
Yeah.
I definitely think he should be like 60s, if not 50s.
I have about a few more that I wanted to talk about. CMC, another injured player who was way too high. I don't know what he was ranked, but he was injured probably half or 3/4 of the season, was still ranked. I think he was ranked in the 40s. I think he was 40 something, but still. Not
yeah,
terrible,
he was 44.
but you can't play half a season and be that high.
Exactly.
And then Marlon Humphrey being over Stephon Gilmore, which Gilmore got injured towards the end. I don't remember what team it was, but and over JC. I know JC Jackson is a little questionable because he's a cornerback too, but man's recorded 9 interceptions. And the only person higher than him in interceptions was Xavier Howard, so
yeah.
I just don't understand that.
Yeah.
You guys got anybody else that you feel was unreasonably ranked?
I can't even look at the entire list at the same time, so that's kind of annoying.
Nick Chubb.
Way to go, NFL.
I think Nick Chubb got disrespected at 26.
Oh yeah.
I think he should be teens, maybe like 12.
I think
13.
he should be high. I think he should be in the top 10, in my opinion.
You think top 10?
I think bump Kelsey out and put Chubb there.
Interesting.
I agree. I think Kelsey's maybe a little too high.
Maybe.
Like, obviously don't put Kelsey at 26, but put Kelsey at 11,
Yeah.
put Chubb at 10.
And then DK, overrated
Oh, yep.
still.
What was he rated? Like 18 or something?
22.
Yeah. Ridiculous. All right, who do y'all got for your top 10?
Oh. Nathan, you want to go first?
I'll let you go first.
All right.
I really have no idea, honestly.
So in the list is Devontae Adams, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Aaron Donald, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce, Mahomes, Rodgers, and TJ. Or that's a projected list, I guess. I'm putting out of those, I'm going to put Rodgers at 1
Oh.
because it's players of 2021. He definitely gets number 1 for 2021. Then I'm going to, I don't want to be biased, but I think Henry definitely deserves it, being the 5th highest rusher all time. Think about that. Hitting 2,000 yards and being, the 5th highest of all time, I don't think there's not a reason he shouldn't be top 3. And then I'm going to put Mahomes. Mahomes is another one of those, yeah, he's really good, but it's his name that gets him top 3 every list. So I'll go Rodgers, Henry, Mahomes. Then I'm gonna go TJ Watt because he is very underrated. He led in every category, and people still love Aaron Donald more.
Yeah,
But
that's ridiculous.
I've got Watt at 4. Then I'll go Devontae at 5. Then I'll go Aaron Donald, and then Tom Brady at 7, and that leaves Kelsey, Josh Allen, and who else? I think that's it.
Did you list Donald?
Yeah, I put Donald at 6. So then I'll go 7 with Brady, 8 Allen, 9 Kelsey.
DeAndre Hopkins was the last one.
I put him at 5.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Or I'm pretty sure I did. So I'll go Rodgers, Henry, then Watt. Or no, Rodgers, Henry, Mahomes, Watt, and then Hopkins, Donald, Kelsey, Brady, Allen. Who am I missing?
Adams.
Yeah, I guess we'll put him. We'll put him at 10, but he definitely deserves higher. I just don't feel like going back through readjusting.
All right, so I already listed mine, so I'm just gonna read it off. I figured you would have had this, and that's why I said I was really shocked when you said it. But I had Derrick Henry at number 1, just because he rushed for 2,000, and you don't see that every year. I mean, for the past 4 years, I think we've seen a quarterback throw for 40 or so touchdowns. So, but I had Derrick Henry, Aaron Rodgers. This sounds biased, but Tom Brady, because he threw 40 touchdowns, and led in. He didn't lead, but was top 5 or so in passing yards at 44 years old. So that's
and won a Super Bowl.
And won the Super Bowl. And then I had DeAndre Hopkins at 4, Josh Allen at 5, T.J. Watt at 6, Adams at 7, Mahomes at 8, Donald at 9, and Kelsey at 10. I had Kelsey at 10 just because still I don't believe he should be in top 10.
Yeah.
And my reason for Mahomes being that low is because I did look at Mahomes and Josh Allen's stats for their placements. And Josh Allen threw 1 less touchdown and 4 more interceptions, but he also rushed for 6 more touchdowns than Mahomes. So that's what I gave it to him for. And then I just think DeAndre Hopkins is a better receiver than Adams. You will not take me off the Hopkins is the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm on that train forever. Nathan, you got your list figured out?
Well, the reason I said it's so hard for me to figure out is just because what I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast. I feel like it's kind of hard to determine what position do you think is the most important, because like I guess except for the ones who are of the same position, like all these guys are like the very best at what they do. So it's like, which one is the best at doing what they do? I feel like personally, I feel like who will probably be number 1, my personal opinion aside, I feel like Patrick Mahomes will probably be number 1 just because of the weight that his name carries.
Yep.
For me personally, I think I would probably put Aaron Rodgers as number 1. Just because the season that he had was incredible. And then at number 2, I would probably put Derrick Henry. And then I would probably put DeAndre Hopkins. So that's like getting those 3 positions out of the way. From there, I think it can be a lot more,
interchangeable.
Probably a little more interchangeable. I'd say I'd probably put like Josh Allen next. Probably Devontae, Tom Brady, T.J. Watt, Travis Kelsey. I think that's I missed Aaron Donald, dang it. I'd probably put him at like 5, maybe. Something like that.
Yeah.
It's not like too bad.
Yeah, me and Nathan have pretty close to the same list.
Yeah. I also forgot to throw this in there. No diss to Devontae Adams, but another reason DeAndre's higher. He mossed 3 people to win a game, and all I see is Devontae running freaking slants on Jalen Ramsey.
Truth.
I think Jalen Ramsey, don't get me wrong, he did lose that wide receiver battle.
Oh, yeah.
But they dissed him too hard on that slant.
Yeah.
Someone definitely has to cover that.
Yeah, I don't think that one out route where Ramsey had to run across the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Or was that against Devontae?
Yes, it was. It was in the playoffs, I believe.
That one was not Ramsey's fault. Yeah. I really don't think it was.
And they were calling him a crybaby over it because he was jumping up and down, but what defensive coordinator is going to make it to where he has to sprint across the entire field when you have 10 other guys on that field who are closer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
I also feel like that Hopkins catch is going to go down in history. I feel like people are probably going to be watching that 50 years from now.
Like,
oh, that's awesome. That's sick.
same thing with Derrick Henry's stiff arms. This season, watch for more.
All right, this is a little off topic, but just a quick one. What catches better, DeAndre's or Odell's?
Oh my gosh.
Odell's.
Okay, well, I'm definitely gonna say Hopkins because the Odell catch was against the Cowboys. So
I think you got to think situational too. Odell drops that pass.
That was a game winner.
Odell drops that pass. He's still right where he would have dropped it because pass interference. Yeah. But Hopkins wins the game. So
I think Hopkins' catch was extremely good. Yes, I think a catch that is super underrated is that CeeDee Lamb where he had to like twist completely
backwards.
Yes, I think that was possibly the best catch of the year because Hopkins, he's super lanky and tall, so he's already got the edge on most corners, and he's got like the biggest hands in the league.
And then for CeeDee to be a rookie and doing that,
yeah, for CeeDee to be
Dalton
a rookie
as his quarterback.
Yeah,
bro, CeeDee Lamb's got COVID, bro.
Bovid? He got the Bovid?
He just still be ready to go though by the time the season starts. So.
Speaking of the Cowboys, how do you think they did this past week, Nathan?
Bro,
they're still completely defeated. They're entirely winless this entire preseason. But
I was like, surely we can beat the Texans.
So did you watch the highlights?
No, I didn't care. I was like, I'm not wasting my time. I heard DiNucci threw like freaking 3 interceptions.
He did. He threw a pick 6, and when I first saw the highlight, he did not take off running until the cornerback was like 15 yards away. And I was like, what is he doing? There is absolutely no reason this cornerback should have scored on this play. And what I failed to see was he got freaking decked by a defensive tackle as soon as the ball left his hands. I was like, daggum, dude. But
if Dak goes down again, if he gets injured again, we're done for.
No, you're not.
Ben DiNucci.
Cooper Rush is your guy.
Okay, yeah, okay.
10 for 12, 97 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I don't even know why Ben DiNucci. Why is this man still playing? Cut this man, Zach. You are better than Ben DiNucci, bro. I'm telling you. Get this joker out of the Dallas Cowboys organization. Cooper Rush is the real guy. And he's the guy. I know it's preseason. I know they like to switch up the backups, but I'm telling you, he's the one who should be playing the preseason games. Okay, get my man DiNucci, cut him, let him go be a freaking accountant or something. Let
him go back to his Italian ways.
I'm gonna go work at Olive Garden or something.
Looking at So when we do these things, I go through every team's stats and write down their notable players on passing, rushing, receiving, and defensive. And when I looked at them, there wasn't really anybody that stood out as a complete player that game. Like on rushing, Rico Dowdy, 6 attempts for 31 yards. Pollard had 5 for 20. The guy who led your team in receiving yards was Noah Brown with 35. And then get this name, Jaquan Hardy led the team with 5 receptions, which that's pretty good in a preseason game. But the people who scored your touchdowns were Cedric Wilson and Tony Pollard, and those came off of passes from Cooper Rush.
Tony Pollard is actually a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's a solid running back.
Yeah, I think at least last season he played just as good as Zeke, if not better.
He played better.
Yeah, he did.
I agree, honestly.
He got started right
people
towards
don't
the end
give
of the
him
season, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think people were giving him enough credit.
They weren't.
And Cedric Wilson is
he's also a solid receiver, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. I mean, he's not as good as Cooper, Lamb, and Gallup, but he's pretty solid. I think if he keeps working, I think he's a pretty good guy just to switch in when everybody else gets tired.
Yeah. And then on defense, there was 0 standouts on that team.
Yeah.
Parsons finished with 2 tackles, but
he doesn't play much.
Yeah, I'm not going to dog him because he probably plays 2 drives and is out.
I think as far as the Cowboys this season, I really think Well, first of all, I mean, we're definitely going to look a lot better with starters. I mean, our starters are like 10 times better than those jokers. But I just still I just have a lot of doubts as a Cowboys fan. You know, it seems like every single year people are like, "Oh, we're going to be so good this year. Oh my gosh, we got all these people." And you know, what happens every single year? We're garbage. Except 2016. Good year.
13-3 just to lose to the Rams in the playoffs.
What was I
No, that
saying?
wasn't the Rams. My bad.
I think it was probably the Packers again.
Probably.
They
It's
lost to
every
the Rams
time.
in 2018 or 2019 because that's when they went to
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
But
Yeah,
I
a few
think
injuries
a
that
lot of
happened
the
to the Cowboys, and they're going to have another abysmal season.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the Cowboys' issues has always been management. And I still don't know what I think about Mike McCarthy because you can't really entirely blame him for last season because we had so many injuries on the O-line. You know, Dak, obviously, but there was several injuries. So you can't really completely blame him. But I feel like looking at this preseason, obviously I know they're not starters, but come on. Can you even beat the Texans in a preseason game? Are you kidding me? I'm worried, honestly. I'm very worried. But all I know is we're probably going to look a lot better that first game with our starters.
Hopefully.
Preseason,
But I think it's going to be a rough start.
preseason,
especially with-
oh my God.
Sorry, I was just going to say, especially with Dak coming off the shoulder injury.
All right, are you finished now?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so what I was trying to say before I interrupted you twice was preseason is about depth, and the Cowboys looks like they have zero. And
Yeah.
another team that has zero depth that plays in the same division, the NFC least, is the Philadelphia Eagles.
True.
35-0 in a preseason game. What is happening? Like, you let
It's not even
Cam
fun to
go
watch,
8 of
bro.
9? Okay, I should throw this out there. They didn't play their starters, period, at all. But Cam comes in, 8 of 9, 103, throws a touchdown. Matt comes out, 13 of 19 again, but this time he throws double the yards and is about 146 with 0 touchdowns. But led like 4 touchdown drives. 3 or 4. And J.J. Taylor is a dog. Did you guys see that spin move he hit on one of the cornerbacks?
No.
Dude absolutely like destroyed his ankles. And he rushed for 93 yards and got a touchdown. And then Ramondre Stevenson, NFL preseason MVP, has another 2 touchdown game with 66 more yards. So I think he has like 193 yards and 4 touchdowns in 2 games.
Pretty good.
And
That's
then
really good.
Gunner had 4 receptions for 57 yards, and I think they all came off of Mac passes. 2 of those catches, he was within 6 yards of the end zone. So I was getting really frustrated because he couldn't get in and give Mac his touchdown.
Yeah.
And then Myers had 3 receptions for 56, with one of them being like 27 yards or so and for a touchdown.
Wasn't there
What you're
a
saying is
50
you guys have depth.
Yes.
Wasn't there like a 50-yard touchdown pass that Mac threw to him?
That was in practice, I think.
Oh, that was a practice.
Yeah.
I knew I had read something about it, but I wasn't sure if it was.
He hasn't thrown a touchdown pass in a game yet. So that's why I was getting frustrated watching it. Because it's like, he's not bad. Oh,
Yeah.
no, it was last week. He threw like a 35 or so to Christian Wilkerson, and he dropped it. That would have been a touchdown.
That's SMH my head, bro.
That
But
was the one we were joking about last week, right?
probably. But we had some defensive stars. Chase Winovich and Harvey Lange both finishing with 5 total tackles. Winovich had 2 sacks. Lange had a sack and an interception. Mac Jones went 35 of 40 today against the Giants in a joint practice. He threw like 7 touchdowns, I think, or so.
That's crazy.
I mean-
And at one point, he had 18 consecutive completions.
Yeah, I did see that.
freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
That's
talking about another defensive team that blew out their opponent is the Tennessee Titans. Larry,
yes, sir.
take
Elijah
it away.
Molden. Elijah Molden.
8
Everyone
tackles
was like,
and a sack?
Yeah, as a corner.
Goodness.
Fourth round.
I had reason to get that excited.
Third round. I think he might become one of the biggest draft steals. I truly believe it. He was overshadowed by Caleb Farley. Caleb Farley hasn't really done much. I'm still hoping that he does some stuff. But Molden, first NFL game. I don't care if this is against practice squads. The fact that a rookie came in and had 8 tackles and a sack is very impressive. So he's the defensive standout for sure. And David Long, he's been brought up a couple times. He had a sack too. I think we had 2 sacks on Tampa. That's not too bad though. And then offense, I've got a couple. So Matt Barkley, as of right now, he's a third string quarterback under Woodside, but Barkley is running away with the QB2 spot right now. I don't remember exactly what it was last week, but this week he went 12 for 16, 115, and 2 touchdowns, which is very impressive because he's kind of moved around the league a little bit. But after that, I've got Mekhi Sargent, the undrafted running back out of Iowa, I'm pretty sure. He had 16 carries for 78 yards, so about 5 yards a carry, which was pretty good. And then Mason Kinsey, for the second week in a row, has done pretty solid, 6 receptions for 56 yards. And then Des Fitzpatrick made his name visible with 2 receptions for 30 yards and a touchdown. So I'm happy with the depth we have for the Titans.
Awesome.
Okay, I just found it, but I was looking for it while you were talking. Matt Barkley went 5 for 8, 54 yards, and a touchdown last week, and he had a fumble as well.
Yeah.
And
He wasn't
Go ahead.
He wasn't super dialed, I guess you could say, last week, but I think he came ready against Tampa.
Yeah, and they probably swapped quarterbacks who got the most reps, because I think Woodside got more last week than he did.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they basically swapped him. But speaking of Woodside, he was like the second dude in rushing, I think. Second or third. He had 10 attempts for 24 yards.
Yeah.
He's got the wrong idea for running away with the job.
Yeah. And then special teams, Sam Ficken going crazy. He had what, 10 points against the Bucks. Kind of popped off. 2 for 2, 100% per percentage, and his long was a 58.
Sheesh. So going back to the kickers, I was going crazy over Quinn Norton last week. Apparently he's totally inconsistent and is on the verge of being cut now. So BDN is back as the starting kicker, it looks like. And while we're on the topic of preseason week 2, I wrote down some of the notable rookies that were drafted, excluding offensive linemen, defensive linemen, stuff like that. Jamar Chase, or as I call him, Jamar drops the ball Chase. What is going on?
Him.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's not living up to the LSU hype.
I'm so disappointed. I wasted a draft pick on him.
Yeah, not just you, but an entire franchise did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, though. I mean, he's dropping so many passes, and they say he's going to miss a lot of early snaps to Tate.
It's ridiculous when you draft him at 5, I think it was, and you see he's getting passed to in a preseason game, and he doesn't even make the receiving stat list.
Yeah.
Didn't even catch
Easy.
one. I think he's dropped 8 passes now. Probably more, but I know he dropped 5 in practice this week and then 3 in that game. But
Crazy.
another
Gonna
player,
be wishing they got Dante Smith.
yeah, they were like, he's the best wide receiver in this draft, and then gets drafted last out of the receivers. Out of
I
the
know
top
exactly. Bro, he was like, low key, he looked mad when he got drafted.
30. Jamar,
No,
Devontae.
Devontae.
I mean, I would
Because he
too.
got chosen like the Eagles, right?
Who would want to play the Cowboys twice a year, dadgummit?
That's what I'm saying.
But staying on the receivers, Jalen Waddle had 3 receptions, 21 yards, but Bengals, at least he's catching the passes. And then
Yeah.
Devontae Smith, 2 receptions of 19 yards. Bengals, he's catching the passes. I didn't write down Kadarius Toney's because I totally forgot about it. But I'm sure he caught the passes.
Yeah,
Bengals
probably.
choked so hard. I know we talked about this last week, but
They did.
they didn't even draft the right position. And then when they did, with the one they got a bust. Seems like so far. Who knows? Maybe he'll turn it around. But as of right now, not looking so great for them.
Speaking of receiving, Najee Harris had 2 catches for 53 yards, and on one of them, he absolutely stole a defender's ankles on a reception that was like 30 or so yards out of a flat.
Still overrated.
I think he's a little overrated, but I think he will definitely be one of the top rookies this year.
I hope so.
Let
JC
that
Horn.
Marquez Callaway guy.
I wrote JC Horn's name down and couldn't get any stats because he literally did not play. Surtain had a tackle. Trevor Lawrence finished 14 for 23 yards, and he had an attempt for 9.
And he just got named the starter today.
Yeah.
That's okay. So people were going crazy over this when the Jets decided to post this terrible post of Zach Wilson when he went 9 for 11 in passing yard or on completions. So they handled the post terribly. But he did throw for 128 and 2 touchdowns.
That's not horrible.
Trey Lance had 102 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. And Justin Fields finished with 80 yards with 4 attempts for 46 yards. So I'm not quite sure how the Bears are going to handle this season.
Yeah.
That quarterback situation.
I've got another rookie that I think we should start maybe looking at.
Elijah Molden.
No, not Elijah Molden. Not the defensive player of the year. I think Pat Freiermuth, the tight end
Oh yeah.
for the Steelers, he looks very nice.
Speaking of the Steelers, how about that knockout though? Good night. My favorite part of that video is when he fixes his glasses and then proceeds to knock the dude out. It's freaking hilarious.
How was Kyle Pitts played?
Yeah, I don't think he has.
Yeah, I don't think
Is he that good? He's not even played one single preseason game?
He's
It's the
just so
Falcons.
good.
They haven't been fine since they lost the Super Bowl.
I don't know. Julio kind of disrespected my man Malcolm, bro.
What?
You know the catch. You know the catch where he ripped it out of his hands and kind of like stared over him.
Oh, you mean
Little
their only
5'8".
touchdown of that game?
Hey, we don't have to talk about that. We don't have to speak of that.
So I don't have any notes on this, but I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. 2 conspiracies this week in the NFL. Number 1 being the Cam Newton situation, out for 5 days, possibly losing his job to Mac Jones. Number 2 is the injury situation with the Colts with Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson. So I will start off with Cam, and I'm just going to list these off, and then you guys can give your opinions. So Cam Newton failed to receive his test from an NFL official COVID test site. He got his test taken, and it was false at another location, but due to the NFL's re-entry process, if you're unvaccinated, you have to wait 5 days in order to return. Which is, like, if it's a false test, I don't understand why they have to wait that long. But during that time, Mac Jones is now going to get all the starter reps in practice and joint practice with the Giants, which I talked about earlier. So people are starting to, I don't know what the word is, but they're starting to think that New England is a place where small, tiny things like that just don't go wrong because they're such a picky team. And they're thinking they purposely sent Cam there knowing he would be out for 5 days so Mac would get the starting job and they'd have a reason to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a interesting thing to go off of.
Yeah.
So Cam isn't vaccinated, I guess?
No, he's not.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not big into, like, conspiracy theories, so...
I'm
It
not
might have
even
just
sure if
been
it's big
something that
enough to
happened.
label it as that, but
Yeah. I don't know. It might just be a coincidence, and like maybe they're just trying to take certain precautions that may or may not be totally right.
I don't think there's really any way you can prove, at least at the moment, that the Patriots organization is doing that.
Yeah.
they've definitely been scandalous in the past, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dare we mention?
Don't. You don't have to, Drew. You don't have to bring it up every time. Deflategate, Deflategate. There's two things that get under my skin quicker than anything. That number one is Deflategate, because of how stupid people are when it comes to talking about it. And two is Tom Brady kissing his son. Like, just let the man do what he wants. It's not.
Hey, yo.
He doesn't do it like sexually abusing him, but
Like a
the
Brazilian
Deflategate
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it probably is. And with his wife being a witch, it's probably normal.
Okay, that is wrong. His wife should not be a witch. Just saying. But I don't have a problem with him kissing his son if it's like a cultural thing.
The Deflategate thing, it irritates me. And if someone could bring me scientific evidence as to why the balls being deflated stop the Colts from scoring on offense, please do. I will willingly take it. Show me where it being cold and the ball is deflated stops them from scoring. All right, we're done with that. The second conspiracy does have to do with those god-awful Colts. The Quentin Nelson and Carson Wentz both have an abnormal injury in their foot, which are the same exact injuries. Both predicted to be out 5 to 12 weeks. Magically
goodness.
come back and are playing. Mind you, it's a broken foot. Carson Wentz comes back in 10 days, so does Quentin Nelson. Carson Wentz is out there doing hard cuts on the field. And people are starting to think that, hey, this isn't normal for anybody. It was
Do you
COVID.
think it's not actually...
They're thinking it was a fake injury. They both got COVID. And that they just wrote it off as an injury so they didn't have to screw everyone over. Which...
Okay, that one makes a lot more sense if there's like video evidence of him like running, even though he has like a severe foot injury, supposedly.
Yeah, it's trippy, that's for sure. But kind of odd. I
don't like the Colts. Screw them.
Screw the Colts. Screw the Packers. Screw the Jets. Screw the Cowboys.
Whoa, too far. I was liking what you were saying up until that point. I was like, yeah, Packers. Whoa, hey.
Hey, yo.
Slow down.
Slow down, Jamal.
Hey, it's okay. If they weren't called America's team, I would not hate them as much. I will say that.
I'm pretty sure the reason they're called the America's team is just because of how much like screen time they got in the 60s.
Yeah,
when,
it's
like,
not the
football became big
60s
on TV.
anymore.
So it's not really like a who's the best type
Okay.
phrase.
If the Cowboys Instagram and stuff did not promote it like they are still America's team, I would not have a problem with it.
But like, they're
Historically, they are America's team.
they're the
Present
most popular team and they're the most valued franchise.
You think?
They statistically are.
Oh, wow.
Patriots are second.
That's crazy.
The new America's team is second.
Ooh.
I think it's fair to call them the
Washington.
new America's team.
Washington is actually America's team.
Speaking of Washington, I was watching the Pat McAfee show, and Wale came on there, and he was saying, like, talking about their team name and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, because we got class. Like, are you a Colt? No, you're not. We a football team." And I was like, "That makes sense, I guess. Whatever."
Wow. That's so dumb.
It is. He said, "We a football team. We ain't no Colt.
We a football team.
We're literally
Oh,
a football team. You ain't no Colt." It's like, you know what? Go off, dude.
Crazy.
But okay, so this is probably the last thing I'm gonna bring up. But I just thought about it when I was talking about Cam being out for 5 days. But Cole Beasley, and I don't want to get political with this at all, but he's entirely anti-vax, and I'm not going to speak on that at all. But he was with somebody who was vaccinated. The vaccinated dude he tested positive, and now they're making Cole Beasley sit out for 5 days after he's tested negative.
I think that's wrong. I think if you yourself do not have COVID, why do you need to quarantine? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if I've been around someone with the plague and I don't have the plague, like, you know, like.
Yeah.
Same.
And Cole Beasley has already wrote a diss track on the COVID vaccine. So he's gonna write a remix.
Is it out?
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna write a remix now with that information.
J. Cole, more like Cole B, bro.
Yeah. J. Cole, who is that?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
I only know Cole B.
Oh, did he have an album called The Off Season? Yo, Cole Beasley is rapping in the off season, dude.
Wait, did you say Cole Beasley did the?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
former Cowboys legend is doing this stuff.
bro, I thought he was always good on the Cowboys.
He's a good
So
wide
it's
receiver.
like disappointing to me to see him do really well with the Bills. You know, wanting. It'd be nice to still have him on our team. Is what I'm saying.
He's an Edelman-esque player. Short, white, shifty receiver. Every team needs one.
I wish we had Adam Humphrey still.
Yeah, what team is he on? I saw it the other day.
Washington.
Yeah.
Man,
I was watching that game live, and they said Humphreys with the catch.
division.
I was like, when did he even sign with them?
Dude, Washington's going to be...
That's why I said it last week. They're going to win the division.
I think they're going to be pretty good.
They will. That defense, top 3 in the league.
Fitzmagic better run.
Unless the Cowboys end up being really good, I think Washington has a good chance of winning it.
Speaking of NFC teams, today New England traded away the running back that won them Super Bowl 53 against said team. They have traded him to the Rams for a 5th and a conditional 6th. The 6th pick can turn it. The 6th pick. Okay, so the Rams don't have a 4th pick. If they get a 4th pick, conditional 4th, or a compensatory pick from John Johnson or whatever his name is, that left in free agency, then that 4th will get replaced. The 4th will replace the 6th round. So we technically get a 4th and a 5th. Which is good, because I didn't expect to get anything higher than a 4th for Sony. That we drafted above Nick Chubb.
Oh.
Daggum, can you imagine that? We have Nick Chubb, A.J. Brown.
You guys also could add DK, couldn't you?
Yeah.
No one cares about that guy.
Yeah. Sadly. You know, Bill, it's hit and miss. This year,
he
I think was entirely
doing.
solid. Though, I will say that.
I think Bill is a genius, but, you know, he's not perfect.
Yeah, last year wasn't his best draft either. He nailed the first 2 picks and then took a kicker in the 5th round, so, you know. It has its ups and downs, but...
For sure.
I
mean,
think,
look at us, man.
Yeah.
Spent our first round pick last season on a rapper, GG Bowser.
He ain't no Cole Beasley though. That's for sure.
Yeah, he ain't dropping like.
He probably better than Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown.
I don't know. AB kind of cool.
Oh, a lot of money.
Oh my god. What? Oh my.
All right, so to end this episode off, we're going to talk about the final preseason game, week 3. We play the Giants, and I 100% Mac, I'm guessing, will throw at least one touchdown this game. And if he does not, I will be mad.
Stay mad.
I will stay mad. But Ramondre is running for 4 touchdowns this game. Quote me on that.
He tweaking.
Nah, he tweaking. Who do y'all play?
Surely
You know?
the Cowboys can beat the Jags, bro.
Nah, fam. Do you see CJ Beathard? Freaking, they were down 21-0 to or 17-3 against the Saints. And CJ Beathard scored 18 points in the 4th quarter to only lose that game by 2. It's ridiculous.
Oh, was it really being serious? I'd say we'll probably lose.
You'll probably you'll probably finish preseason 0-4.
Yeah. It's alright.
Larry, who the Titans play?
Bears.
The Bears.
We play the Bears.
Bears.
I'm calling this a win. I'm saying 27-6.
27-23.
No. No one's getting past our 20.
Andy Dalton.
And
Did you forget? It's his time.
Elijah Molden show.
Justin Fields needs to sit the frick down, bro.
Andy Dalton is John Cena. His time is now.
Justin Fields is starting against the Titans, too. Elijah Molden about to have 4 picks, 2 sacks. What else do you want from him? He'll do it.
All of it. I hope
Everything.
Elijah Molden grows into a star.
Everyone's saying he's like Cortland Finnegan, and they look very similar. Oh my, they literally look like they're in the same family.
Might have to watch the Titans game. When do they play? Sunday, right?
Saturday.
Saturday
at 6.
Might have to watch it.
Preseason schedule's a little kind
It's
of
a
all
little
over the
whack.
place.
I thought they were all going to go on Sunday since the Patriots have played on Thursday these past 2 weeks. So I thought they were moving them all to Sunday to try and get like a preseason run through of what every Sunday is going to look like. But
yeah, I wanted to watch the Cowboys game on Saturday, but I already had plans, so I just ended up not watching it.
well, at least you spared yourself.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Maybe they'll pull out the win. Maybe they'll give Micah a few more drives to play. Take a little less away from Ben DiNucci. Give Cooper Rush more starts. Maybe they'll throw Dak in. I doubt they will.
Look at the
I doubt
similarities
he
between
plays.
these 2 guys. So there's Elijah Molden. We'll see if we can maybe pop them up at the same time. But look at how similar they look.
That is insane.
That's kind of scary. Because I would say they look pretty similar.
Yeah, they have similar facial structures, yeah.
Is
I mean,
Finnegan,
obviously one's like darker skin than the other one.
does he play in the NFL?
Who, Finnegan?
Yeah.
No, he was the one that got clocked by Andre Johnson, bro.
I'm sorry, that got me really funny. Yo, hopefully Molden doesn't get clocked by Andre Johnson too.
Nah, Molden, I think Molden could hold his ground.
Yo,
on those
imagine
big,
Titans played
team.
Texans.
and he has to go against
Molden
what's
gets his
name?
helmet ripped
Kute.
off and freaking gets clocked by Brandon Cooks.
I'd like to see it.
Brandon
I forgot
Cooks
to clap.
reversing karma. He knocks out somebody.
I'm supposed to clap this episode since I'm Jason Garrett.
Nah, Molden gonna hit him with the Chris Breezy 1-2 if the helmet comes off.
I woke up Chris Breezy.
I woke up Elijah Molden.
Yeah.
I woke up Antonio.
Hey yo. I think it'll be a pretty good game though. The Bears Titans.
Yeah. Didn't they lose to the Bears last year? Or did they beat them?
No,
They didn't.
34-16. I want to say. Titans.
I feel like it was closer. I feel like it was 24-17 or something.
Titans, Bears, 20. Oh my gosh.
As we await results.
24-17.
Ah, I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's closer.
Let's see.
Still take a dub, though.
Nick Foles led him 36 of 52 for 335 and 2 touchdowns. That's the only relevant person on there.
Darnell
Yes,
Mooney,
he had a
stats
comeback
now.
season.
Tell me.
On the Bears,
Somehow.
Tannehill, 10 for 21, 158, 2 touchdowns.
Derrick Henry, 130 yards for 2 touchdowns.
Shocker, this was one of his like 3 or 4 games without 100 or more. It was 21 carries, 68 yards.
I mean, they played a good defense.
But A.J. Brown had 4 receptions for 101.
Is that did he have a touchdown?
Yeah.
Is that when he broke off that dude, or was that against the Ravens?
That
When
was
he
the
like,
Ravens.
yeah, where he manhandled like 3 people.
he threw Marlon Humphrey.
Dang. Well, hopefully all of our teams do unexpectedly well this upcoming week, and
We all know Elijah Molden's the GOAT.
yeah, that is true.
Exactly.
I'm going to get his jersey. I don't care if he's a bust. I'm getting this
We're
jersey.
changing our show name to the Elijah Molden Show.
I think that'd be pretty sick.
Let's all
I agree.
just start spamming his DMs. Get him on.
Oh my, imagine. That'd be insane.
That would
That'd be so
awesome.
funny.
I'd be like, yeah, these people hating on y'all, and I'm the only one that's here for you, man.
Hey, me and Larry,
Frick.
frick,
Out.
I'll buy a
We're the real
daggum Molden jersey too.
$250. They're $250.
I'm not paying that.
I dare you to DM him.
You
I
let him
will.
blow up, and then I'll buy it on eBay for $30.
I will literally DM him right now.
Please.
Elijah Molden. Molden 3.
Did you end it already?
No.
Yeah, we're still going.
We're still going. You think I'm going to cut this Elijah Molden talk out? We can't be
I will-
praising him and not have this in.
Exactly.
He got to see this, dude. He got to
All
be
right,
like,
how
all
do I
I
right.
have to go follow him.
Ayo. Ayo.
Yeah, he only has 12,000 followers. There's a good
Yeah.
chance that he sees it.
Tag him in the... Yo, we got to tag him in the next episode when it comes out. Yo, we're super
Yo,
fans,
we need
man.
a Benchwarmers Instagram.
I'm going to go and watch all of his stats, highlights, whatever. Do it all tonight.
That way, if we get him on, you know everything.
I'm gonna
Who's
order his
your
jersey
biggest
tonight. Next episode he comes on, I'm gonna have my webcam and I'm gonna be wearing it.
Bro, this is insane. Super proud of how you played so far. Excited for how the rest of the season will be with
All right, so
you out there.
while we await his response, we'll keep y'all updated, and he will be on the next episode of the Benchwarmers podcast. Thank y'all for watching. And we went on that last little tangent there, but thank you for listening to us talk, and we will catch y'all in the next episode. Thank you.